Unit 1 Chemistry, Chapter 7, Part 2, Acids and Bases. So in the previous video, we took a look at properties of acids. So now we're going to take a look at some properties of bases. So a base is a type of chemical. Like an acid, it can conduct electricity. So what that means is that electrons can flow easily through it. Turns red litmus paper blue. So this is the opposite of what we saw in an acid. So red litmus paper, I will show you a picture of that online on Monday. So red litmus paper, when it is put into a liquid that is a base, the red litmus paper turns blue. In terms of its texture, acids generally are often used in cleaning products, and it gives soap its slippery texture. In terms of taste, bases have a bitter taste. So if you've ever had an opportunity to taste sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda, it does have a bitter taste. So the reason why bases are electrically conductive is because they can form ions. So we take an example of a base here, sodium hydroxide. It can dissociate to two ions, and the ions are what make it electrically conductive. Now, there's two ways to identify if a chemical is a base. So the first way is if you see the polyatomic ion hydroxide on it, this is indicating that the substance is a base. If you see carbonate as the polyatomic ion, that's also going to indicate that the substance is a base. So if we take a look at this chart here, sodium hydroxide, its formula is NaOH. So this is an example of a base, and sodium hydroxide is used in making paper. Ammonium hydroxide. So again, we see this ending hydroxide, and ammonium hydroxide is used in window cleaners. So if you have Windex at home, ammonium hydroxide would be an ingredient in that solution. Magnesium hydroxide. So again, we see the word hydroxide, we see the symbol OH, so that's also indicative of a base. And magnesium hydroxide is used in antacids. So if you have a medication at home called Rolaids or Tums, which people take for upset stomachs, that is also a base. And finally, sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate or baking soda is NaHCO3. So again, the two ways that you can tell is by the name, has carbonate, and in the formula you see the CO3, and that is often used in baking. Many recipes call for baking soda, and people can also use it for cleaning if they're trying to clean with products that are not so high in chemicals. So the last part of the lesson is acid-base indicators. So an indicator is a chemical or a substance that changes color depending on whether it is in an acid or a base. So this indicator, called bromothiamyl blue, is a blue liquid. If you put this blue liquid into a liquid that is an acid, the blue liquid forms a yellow color. If you put it into a base, it stays blue. Phenolphthalein is another type of indicator. Phenolphthalein is colorless. When you add it to an acid, it does not change color. However, if you put a drop of phenolphthalein into a liquid that is a base, it will turn bright pink. And then litmus paper, which I've already talked about. So there's two types of litmus paper. There's red and blue. So blue litmus paper turns red in an acid. Red litmus paper turns blue in a base. So that concludes our first lesson of Chapter 7. Please try the homework questions that have been assigned.